Hello, my name is Artem. I'm CEO of Cyntegrity, and we are providing the technology for risk-based monitoring and making it available for smaller and mid-sized pharma companies. One of the biggest projects is our collaboration with academia, with Fraunhofer Institute and Goethe University, where we try to select similar clinical trials and see the differences, whether we conducted this with risk-based monitoring or not, or with traditional monitoring. Establish a process, how to do it in the most efficient way, how to integrate this process in the working team of clinical operations, and how to get lessons learned for that, and publish the results and present them on the conferences. The results are right now very welcome. So you have today much about, so many people are speaking about risk-based monitoring, many companies claiming that they implemented it, but not many companies, not many organizations provide really trustworthy results in terms of what it improved, how many quality issues they avoided through this, and how much patient safety, so to say, was gained through this new procedure. Sometimes risk-based monitoring is taken as a kind of flag to reduce monitoring without any other action. It's understandable it's not about it. So it's about more about changing the mindset, how you approach the planning of your clinical trial, how you approach the operations, and how you deal with maybe a risk that didn't appear yet, or haven't appeared yet. So how do you foresee and forecast them? So another pitfall, which is quite widely discussed, is underestimating of change management. The risk management in general influences many cross-functional teams. So data management, operations, biostatistics, all of them are integrated, or all of them are involved in the risk assessment and risk mitigation. And to change the mindset, to change the collaboration between these teams is a huge challenge. It takes time, and this time is usually underevaluated or underestimated. In the future, I see that many changes should happen. Many changes in standardization, many changes in predictive analytics. When we speak about KRIs, key risk indicators, which is a pretty common topic today, we still do not know what thresholds should be defined. We still do not know what thresholds are relevant for this therapy or for that therapy. So this kind of standardization and collaboration should happen in order to establish these standards. Of course, the predictive analytics as a continuation of risk management to foresee the future or unveil what kind of trends can happen, and how these trends influences my decisions today. So that's where I see that the industry is coming and moving. It's actually the full idea comes from two main risk groups. So patient safety, data integrity, and maybe project management as a kind of additional area. But the patient centricity is one of the first part, one of the major part. And I give you one example from our project, which is quite interesting. So for one of the oncology trials, we were guiding and we were establishing a risk-based monitoring system. So part of the additional KRIs or main KRIs like protocol compliance, fraud detection, and patient safety, sponsor asked us to add a KRI for suicidality risk. And this is quite interesting. So we would try to foresee if suicidal attempt will happen or not. And if we could succeed with saving at least one life, then I think the full approach is worth of doing that. So that's maybe to your question, how patient-centric this approach is, or whether it's targets the patients or not. I think yes, of course it targets, and it influences them as well. The data itself, it's actually the input parameter for ongoing risk assessment. So we source the historical information from the already finished trials in order to define the thresholds, in order to find the relevant risks and risk categories. And we do it not only within sponsor, but we also integrate the clinical trials from other sponsors that are publicly available now. So if you speak about big data in this regard, then it's already available, and it's already in the usual process, integrated in the usual process. What is quite interesting is to involve social media into this process, and also see if a patient can participate in this, in the full, just to give you one example. Patients on their own are introducing certain risks to clinical trials as well. For example, professional patients which are participating in simultaneously in various clinical trials, whether taking the medicine or ignoring that. If we would be able to recognize this, for example, through social media, this would be already a very huge benefit for the whole industry. If we could recognize some fraudulent behavior on certain sites by means of the certain messages sent, for example, over Facebook, that would be also very interesting output.